So tonight we're going to get started with how to get your mojo back, how to stay motivated, passionate, and driven. I've got over 20 tips for you. We're going to see how many we actually get to. I have a feeling we're not going to get to all of them. I might have to do a part 2 for this video next week. But in the meantime, definitely give me your thumbs up, give me your hearts. Let me know that you love this information as we go along, because that's what keeps me motivated and excited to give this information to you every single week. Also, please note, if you are on Instagram, this video will be deleted at the end of this broadcast. However, you can hop on over to the Fearless Fashionpreneur Facebook group and watch all of the replays there. Also, if you're on Facebook, please share this video. Type in shared in the comments and I will actually give you a little gift. I'll give you a cheat sheet for all of the tips that we go over tonight. So please, please share this video with all the fashionpreneurs that you know, and they will love it as much as you do. Oh, thanks for your hearts. Thanks, guys. All right, so let's talk about it. Some people are just naturally internally self-motivated type of individual, right? How many of you would say that you are self-motivated? Answer yes or no in the comments below. So I want to hear from you. There's a little bit of a delay. So yes or no, are you typically self-motivated, or do you need that extra little push? Do you need that extra little shrug kind of to get you going? What's everybody saying? Cleo, yes, naturally motivated. Revel Dancewear, yes, naturally motivated. Okay. Erica, depends on the day, of course. Some people will say that for sure. All right, so I want to give you some tips so that it doesn't depend on the day, so that it doesn't depend on your mood, it doesn't depend on how you're feeling, that you will be self-motivated all the time, okay? So a lot of times it just takes a little bit of perspective and a bit of a step back. So let's go through these top 20 tips and we'll see how far we actually get to, okay? So number one is that you need to have a strong awareness of yourself and what actually motivates you, right? So some people are motivated by money, by fame, by doing something good, by freedom. This is a big motivator for me. One of the reasons I wanted to start my business was to have time, money, freedom, so that I wouldn't be stuck in a job where I couldn't leave whenever I wanted to, where I couldn't raise my family from home, things like that. So freedom is very, very important to me. Some people, it's competition. I'm a very competitive person, so I actually like competition, and that actually motivates me. Some people, it's recognition, right? So it's good to have a strong understanding of who you are as a person, a strong awareness of what actually motivates you. And once you understand this, you'll better understand how to actually start to motivate yourself, okay? So that's number one. Number two is that you need to understand your purpose and calling. What's the big picture, okay? I truly believe that we were all created by God for a specific reason and a specific purpose. And that if everyone just actually did what they were called to do, the world would be a much better place, right? So I truly think that a lot of people are miserable in this world because they're in jobs that they're actually not supposed to be in, right? God didn't create you for that job, and so you're miserable. And I always like to think of it like this. You actually owe it to the world to be who you were created to be. So let that be a motivation. I know for me, that's a huge motivator. I truly believe that God called me to be a fashion coach, to help and train, mentor others. And so that motivates me to know that the world needs me. The world needs fashion coaches. You guys need fashion coaches. You guys motivate me, right? So yes, and your hearts and your thumbs up are motivating me right now. So sometimes just having that overall perspective, having that bigger picture understanding of who you actually were called and created to be and what your purpose is in this world will motivate you. Okay. Number three, you need to have a strong why. I talk about this all the time with my fashion clients. And I always say, if your why doesn't make you cry, it's not strong enough, okay? Your why just can't be because you love fashion. Yes, everybody loves fashion, but there needs to be more than that. What's gonna motivate you when you're tired, when you're exhausted at the end of the night, all you want to do is go to bed and you've got work to do, right? What's going to motivate you when you're sick and you're not feeling well, like I am right now? And it's going to continue to go on and keep going forward, right? You guys actually motivated me because I didn't want to do this Facebook Live call. I was not motivated to do this call because I'm not feeling that well right now. But you're motivating me. I know that you're counting on me. And so I didn't want to let you down. And so that's motivation for me, right? So having a really strong why. What is your why? Why did you decide to get into this business? Are you solving a problem? Are you trying to achieve financial freedom? Are you trying to just spend more time with your family and have a better way of life, right? So what is your why? That's really, really important. Oh, thank you so much. I hope I get better soon. Yes. So number 4, a lot of what motivates us or doesn't motivate us is really what comes down to whether you have fear or faith. And I like to say or because you can't have both at the same time, right? So what's the chatter that's going on in your mind? Is it more fear-based or more faith-based? And if you want some tips on overcoming fear, we talked all about that on Facebook Live episode number 9, which is back in June. So you can go back and rewatch that. We talked all about overcoming fear and what it means to be a warrior. But your fear mindset will definitely have you play that victim card or start throwing a pity party for yourself. Oh, why me? Or why am I not succeeding like everybody else? Or why is it harder for me, right? Whereas faith will have you saying more positive things to yourself. And like I always say, fear and faith are the exact same thing. You're believing in something you truly do not know will actually happen. Just one is positive and one is negative. So I'll say that again. Fear and faith are the exact same thing. Believing in something you do not know will actually happen. So it's your decision. It's your choice. Are you going to choose to have fear or are you going to choose to have faith? No one's forcing you to believe one or the other. It's up to you to make the choice, okay? So that's number 4. Number 5 is your attitude, okay? Attitude is so super important for everything in life, not only trying to achieve your dreams and goals in fashion, right? Do you have an expectant attitude, okay? So I like to wake up every morning with the attitude that anything can happen in a day. Anything can change in a day. You have no idea what God's going to bring in your life, what person might come across your path, what phone call you might receive, what email you might get, somebody that you might run into on the street. You have no idea what can happen in a day. Literally anything can happen in a day, okay? And I'll give you an example. So my husband and I have been looking to buy a condo, the one we're now in, which still needs to be decorated and organized a little bit, so bear with me. And we were looking for 14 and a half months, okay? And I would be lying if I told you I was not frustrated at all during that time and not getting upset that we weren't finding anything, right? So we were definitely at some points in time starting to feel not motivated, right? When I would walk into a place and I totally hated it with disgust, I was definitely not motivated to continue looking, right? We spent a lot of time, a lot of energy running around, looking at all of these different condos. But at the end of the day, when we finally found our home, everything changed in the matter of a day. That was it. We went from not having a home to finding our perfect home in just one day. That was it. We found out the very next day that our offer was accepted and we started moving forward with the process. So literally anything can change in a day. So why not wake up every morning with that expectant attitude? Why not wake up every morning expecting that something good is going to happen, right? Who's with me on this? So Chic Petite is with me on this. Who's with me on changing our attitude so that every day we wake up in the morning? Monica says, amen, awesome. Who's with me and changing your attitude so that every day you wake up expecting something to change? I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning expecting that I'm no longer sick, that this cold is gone, that I've been healed, and that I'm no longer sick, right? Maybe you're going to wake up tomorrow morning expecting that you're going to get a phone call or expecting that money is just going to hit your bank account because you did so much sales online last night, right? Whatever it is, just have that expectant attitude. All right, awesome. You're all with me. Teresa's with me. Sean is with me. Awesome. Yes, so make a commitment to have that expectant attitude. Also, at the same time, have an attitude of gratitude, right? We have so many things to be thankful for. And while we can't control what happens to us, you can control your attitude and what you're going to do about it, right? So everything in life is a choice, like we just said before. So have an attitude of gratitude. Be grateful for what you already have, because trust me, things could be 10 times worse. And if you need a reminder sometimes, go online and read inspiring stories about how entrepreneurs got started, or read stories about children in third world countries that don't even have drinking water. Like clean drinking water, okay? We live in the United States, most of us on this call, I believe, and we don't have problems like that, right? So it's always inspiring to see what our lives could be like, right? So it's very important to just have that attitude of gratitude. So let's all commit to changing our attitude to be expectant and also an attitude of gratitude. Okay, number 6. Stop being a perfectionist. I talk to too many of you all the time, and you are so concerned about everything being perfect. As I like to say, perfection is the enemy of progress. Okay, you will not progress in your business if you are a perfectionist. And I can say this because I am a recovering perfectionist, and that's the term I like to use because I'm still working on it, right? So we can be recovering perfectionists, we can be on the way to not being a perfectionist, that sort of thing. I also like to say that perfectionism produces procrastination. So you're not going to get anything done if you have to make it perfect all the time. Understand that it doesn't need to be perfect. Done is much better than perfect, especially when you're starting a business and working on things, okay? There's so many times when I make mistakes, I don't dwell on them, I don't go back and fix them, I don't have time, okay? If you've got time to worry about stuff like that, you're not doing enough in your business. And I'm just gonna say that flat out. You might think that's mean, but it's true. People who have time to worry about things like that, you're not working hard enough on your business, because I don't even have the time to worry about stuff like that. If I make a mistake, even if I wanted to go back and fix it, I do not have the time to go back and fix it, okay? That time does not exist for me. So work harder on your business and you'll naturally become less of a perfectionist, okay? And that will definitely help you stay motivated, because if you're getting more things done in your business, that's gonna motivate you to continue working on your business, okay? Number 7 is tunnel vision. This is a big one, okay? I want you guys to really have that tunnel vision where you're looking at your goals and that's it. You're not looking at what your competition is doing. You're not looking at what your friends are doing, right? You have that really laser focused strategy where you're only focused on what you're doing and you're not looking to the left, you're not looking to the right, you're solely looking at your goals ahead. I like to say, stay focused. That's like a big one for me. And reason is because the word focus, the acronym for that, means follow one course until successful. So I'll repeat that. Focus means to follow one course until successful. So all you have to do is not get off course. Just stay on the course, right? If you're running a race, the only thing that will stop you is if you quit the race, right? So just stay on track and you won't get off track. Have you ever noticed that people, when they're driving, if there is a accident on the side of the road or something, all the cars seem to be all jammed up, yet there's not actually anything in the road? Some people call it rubbernecking. It's literally the act of you turning your head to see the accident that's happening makes you slow down. And also, actually, you can get in an accident doing that because you start to veer off towards where your head is actually turned. So I've been teaching my stepdaughter how to drive. She's now driving, and she wanted to know some tips on how to go around turns and things like that. And one piece of advice I gave her was look ahead to where you're actually going, and you'll naturally start to turn your car in that direction. So where you're actually looking is where you're actually going to go. It's legit, like scientific fact, okay? And if you don't believe me, try it in your car. Please don't try it in your car because you might get in an accident, okay? But if you naturally look to the right or to the left while you're driving, or even while you're walking, you're gonna start to actually go in that direction. So if you literally keep your eyes focused on where you want to go at the end of the day, you will have no shot of going off track, right? It's also really important that you don't focus on your competition too much. So a lot of my clients, I know I tell you to look at your top 10 competitors, and yes, that's very important, but you don't want to focus on it too much, okay? There can be this whole like curse of comparison that happens, right? You don't want to start to covet what other people have and think that their life is better than yours, or they have it easier than you do, right? All of these like mindset things start to occur. So you really don't want to start comparing yourself to others. It's good to look at what your competitors are doing so that you can one-up them, but you don't want to make it a part of your everyday life, and you don't necessarily want to focus on it, right? You want to focus on your goals, on where you're headed. Stay on track, have that focus, follow one course until successful, and you will be successful, and that will motivate you. So your success will definitely motivate you, okay? How's everyone liking the tips so far? Is this helpful? Is this what you thought I was going to talk about? Is it totally different? Give me some feedback on a scale of 1 to 10. How are we liking this? 10, you love it. 1, it's not the greatest. I'll wait for a couple of you to respond. The delay, there's always a delay. Very helpful, Monica says. Awesome. Love it. Okay, perfect. Awesome. Okay, number 8 we're going to talk about is your environment. So your environment includes both your workspace around you and the people around you, okay? So number 1, where is your workspace and what does it look like, right? So for me, my workspace, I'm in the process of redoing all of this, right? But I want to make it a place where it's conducive to working. So for me, that means lots of light. So I'm actually having lighting installed. So I have even more light, especially at night when I'm working. During the day, I've got these windows. I have a lot of natural sunlight that comes in. So that's really awesome. It's also really important to me that my workspace is pretty. So I'm going to start putting up all these picture frames and just make it really cute and fun and pretty, because I have to come in here every single day. And so I want it to look nice and lovely and fun because I have to be in here all the time, right? And then for me, I also don't want it to be like too comfy. So a lot of people put couches in their office or things like that. I'm not that type of person. I don't want a couch in my office because that's going to make me not want to work. That's going to want to make me relax and sit down on the couch, right? So I don't have like couch furniture or any comfy furniture in my office. It has to be very conducive to work. So figure out what works for you, and maybe you need an office makeover. Maybe you need to start putting up some really inspirational quotes on the wall. Maybe you need to plaster your goals on the wall like I do so that you can look at them every single day, right? And make sure that you're headed there in that direction. It's also really important that you have a dedicated workspace. So no working in your bed, no working in the living room while you're watching TV. You know, try to have a separate dedicated space, because psychologically, you want your brain to start getting accustomed to where it is and when is the time to actually work, right? So if I'm always working in bed, when I'm ready to actually go to bed, my brain's going to be like, well, are you working or are you trying to go to sleep? Like, what's going on? And you could actually have trouble sleeping. Yes, Bayshona, don't work in bed, please. It's very, very bad for you, okay? So figure out what works best for you. Try to have a dedicated workspace. Also, if you can, try to have 2 desks. So this is the one thing I'm going to start doing. So I'm going to have one desk where my computer is, and then another desk that's completely clear, so that I'm not sucked into like checking my email all the time and answering messages on my computer and all that kind of stuff, that I can literally like put my computer out of sight, turn and focus on other things I need to do, and go back to my computer when I need to. So if you can, try to have 2 desks kind of right next to each other if possible. Now, the second part of environment that I'll talk about is the people around you. So this is really, really important. Are the people around you negative or positive? Are they supporting you and encouraging you with what you're doing, or are they not? And if they're not, then they're not helping you at all, right? And so it's really important to put yourself in a situation where you have encouraging people. I'm very fortunate that my husband is super encouraging and motivating, and he tells me all the time what a great job I'm doing, and he's always pushing me to excel and do more, right? But there's some people in our lives, usually they're your family and your friends, that are not so supportive, right? And it's usually because they just don't understand what you're doing, and because of the way that they were raised. So a lot of people were raised with this mentality that you go to school, you get a great job, you work for someone else, you retire, and that's it, right? And that used to work for the most part, but that doesn't quite work anymore in this time frame. So in the year 2017, that doesn't always work. So especially in the fashion industry, people don't have jobs for 30 or 40 years any longer. People are being let go at age 50 so that they can't retire, and then they can't find another job because they're too old and they're overqualified. So in my opinion, I don't want to rely on someone else to determine my destiny and my future. I want to make my own dreams happen. I want to make my own future and not be dependent on a job or an employer to make those decisions for me. So just keep in mind that your friends and family, they love you. They have good intentions, but they don't always know how to actually help you. And so my tip for you is to stop caring what other people think. It's really, really important that you just don't listen to the naysayers, okay? If your mom's like, why are you starting a business? Or why are you up till 2 o'clock in the morning? You need to go to bed because you've got work tomorrow, right? And she doesn't understand that you're working on your business. Just tune it out as much as possible and stop caring about what other people think. Other people are not going to pay your bills. Other people are not going to take care of your children. So why are you letting their opinions and thoughts determine what you actually do, okay? If you're not paying my bills, sorry, I'm making my own decisions without you, okay? So it's just really, really important. This is a big one, guys, because I see so many people get hung up on what other people think about what they're doing, and in the end, it stops them from achieving their dreams, right? So you really want to start surrounding yourself with really great people. Yes, you don't want to rely on an employer, Daniela. Yes. So it's really important to think about who are the top 5 people that you hang around with most. Usually you're the sum of those top 5 people. So if they're not business owners, you need to start changing who you hang around with. Start getting around business owners. Start getting around millionaires. You want to be a millionaire? You better start hanging out with millionaires, right? You want to be a fashion designer? Start hanging around designers. You want to be whatever it is that you want to be. You want to be healthy and lose 5 pounds? Be around 5 other women that want to be healthy and lose 5 pounds. If you're around a woman that's going to eat cake and chocolate chip cookies all day long, that's not going to help you stay motivated to lose weight, right? So you need to stay around people that have similar goals, that have a similar mindset, and that might mean changing who you actually hang around with, okay? So that's definitely going to help you to stay motivated. And going back to the whole environment thing, you know, this is the same as like if you are trying to lose weight, right? Don't buy chips and cookies. Don't put them in your house, because if they're in your house, you're most likely going to eat them. So if you remove things from your environment, they're not going to have an effect on you. And it's the same thing for people, right? Yes, change up your circle. Very, very important. Okay, awesome. I'm glad you're loving it. Okay, what number are we up to? Number 9, what are you listening to and reading? You've all heard the phrase, you are what you eat. Well, I believe you are what you listen to and read, and you become what you listen to and read. So what type of books are you reading? What are you listening to? What are you watching on TV? Are you watching nonsense reality TV? I'm sorry, I can't stand it. I can't stand any reality TV shows because they are not educational, and I truly believe they're actually making you dumber by the minute. This is just my opinion, but this is how I feel. So I do not watch any reality TV shows. I don't watch soap operas. I don't watch all this nonsense crap, I'm sorry, that's on TV. I don't really watch any TV, to be honest, because I don't have the time, all right? But if you are going to watch TV, watch something that's educational, okay? When you're getting ready in the morning, listen to a podcast. You know, when I'm doing my hair and makeup and stuff, I'm listening to podcasts from top online marketers and other people in the business world that I want to become and I want to learn from them, right? That's 5 or 10 minutes I'm doing my makeup, and maybe 30 minutes I'm doing my hair that I can actually listen to an entire podcast. So what are you listening to in the morning every time you wake up? I wake up to worship music because I love to praise God as soon as I wake up in the morning. What are you listening to? What are you filling your ears with? What are you filling your eyes with? Okay, really, really pay attention to that, because what goes in is going to naturally come out. It's only natural. And if you want something to listen to, or watch, you can always listen to all of these Facebook Lives because they are recorded inside the Fearless Fashionpreneur group. So every morning you can listen to a different one. That's just a little tip there. And that might help you to get motivated, stay motivated, and make your day so much better. Okay, let's go over number 10, the last one for today, which is speak positive things over yourself. The Bible says that we have the power of life and death in our tongue, and it's so true. I don't know if you guys have ever heard this experiment that was done where they took 2 glasses of water and put a plant in each one. Oh, no, there wasn't even a plant inside. It was just 2 glasses of water. 2 glasses of water that they decided they were going to speak positive things to one glass and negative things to another glass. We're talking about glasses of water, okay? I'm not even talking about people. Over a period of 10 days, the water that they spoke negative things to actually turned black. Yes, black. I'm serious. If you don't believe me, you can Google this, okay? So imagine if you're speaking that to a glass of water, imagine how much more profound when you're speaking it to a human being, whether it's yourself or someone else, right? So words are super important. That's why I believe prayer is so important. That's why I believe speaking powerful things, positive things over yourself is so important. So every single day, wake up and tell yourself, yes, I can do it. Today is going to be the greatest day ever. I am awesome. I am amazing. You know, speak positive affirmations over yourself. You know, when I like to go to the gym, you know, I typically have to like pump myself up, right? So if I'm going to get ready to lift something that's pretty heavy that maybe I've never lifted before, or I knew the last time I lifted it, it was pretty hard, I'm telling myself things like, I can do this. This is easy. I got this, right? So if I do it at the gym, why wouldn't I naturally do it in my everyday life, right? So pump yourself up before you have a buyer phone call that you have to make, or before you have to pitch to a store in person, or before you send out your first email for your email marketing, right? Or before you get ready to do your social media and you're like, I have no idea what to post. Tell yourself, yes, I have so many ideas what to post. I have so many ideas. I don't even know where to start with what to post with. And then magically those ideas are going to come to you. I promise, okay? Yes, you speak things over yourself on your Snapchat. Yes, awesome. So this is really important. And I'll give you another example. So when my husband and I were looking to buy our condo, again, going back to this because it was very recent in our lives, we both felt from God that we were going to find it in September. We just both felt September was our month and it was going to happen. And we put an offer in on another place in the beginning of September. And by the middle of September, we found out we didn't get it. And we were really bummed and we were really discouraged. But we're like, okay, but God told us September. So we just kept believing. Would you believe that we found this condo on September 30th, the last day of the month? So by saying and believing that we were going to find a place in September, we actually did it, okay? By saying these things out loud, you're putting the intention out there that this is what you expect to happen. This goes back to having that expectant attitude, right? Yes, so it's really important, and it's that easy as saying positive things, and it's going to help you stay motivated. So those are the top 10 tips for staying motivated, passionate, and driven. I've got 10 more for you, so I think what I'll do is we will do a part 2 next week. So we'll do part 2 next week, how to stay motivated, passionate, and driven. Give me your thumbs up, give me your hearts if you loved this. Please don't forget to share this video with all of your fashionpreneurs, and I will send you actually the cheat sheet on all of these tips. So type in shared in the comments. You can only share on Facebook. So if you are on Instagram, please hop on over to Facebook inside the Fearless Fashionpreneur group so that you can definitely share this video and take advantage of the free checklist because you're not going to want to miss out on this checklist. Awesome. I love that you guys are loving all this information. Just to give you some tips for what's coming up, next Wednesday, we have a free masterclass again, the 9 crucial steps to starting your own fashion line. So definitely sign up for that. It's at fashionangelwarrior.com/9steps-webinar. And there's a link in the bio on Instagram, and I'll put a link on Facebook as well. So free masterclass, you might as well take advantage of it. A lot of people missed out on the last time that we did it, so we're bringing it back. It will be recorded, but you definitely want to show up live because there's awesome bonuses that you'll want to take advantage of. So sign up for that. What's the name of the group? It's the Fearless Fashionpreneur group on Facebook. Hopefully that makes sense. I'll put a link. There's a link in my Instagram profile, okay? All right, guys, I love you. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to share this video, and we'll be back next week with the next 10 tips. Let me know in the comments which tip you loved the most and you're going to start to implement this week. Is it going to be the expectant attitude? Is it going to be the attitude of gratitude? Maybe it's going to be changing your circle. Maybe it's going to be changing up your environment. What are you going to do this week to make sure that you're always staying motivated and passionate to achieve your dreams and goals? All right, I love you. Have a great night. Bye.